G'day everyone, my name is Rajin and welcome back. This video is just a simple, small video, just of me playing Warframe and talking to give everyone an update of how I've been gone for well over a year. The reason being is a number of reasons. So, yeah, where I used to live at the time where I last recorded from, my computer shat itself. Unfortunately, I was playing with a laptop, and I did have another tower, but it wasn't good enough to actually play any games, not decently enough. And so the only thing I really had was that laptop. And unfortunately, when it decided to crap itself, I had nothing left. Yeah, at this time I didn't have a lot of money, living on Centrelink. So yeah, not a lot to go by. Now around this time I was also saving to try and move town, and after a short while I managed to get enough together and things kind of fell into place where I just ended up having to move. Or I didn't have to, but I did. And so yeah, I shifted, and this wasn't just a small shift, it was actually to a whole other city, 6 hours away, so not cheap, cost me a bit. And then I moved in with a mate, and that was fine enough. It did take me a few months still to save up enough money in order to get myself a new computer. Now when I finally did end up doing that, I intended to come back and to do the recordings, but procrastination happened. I kept putting it off, and my mouse and keyboard were screwing up with the new computer for God knows whatever reason, so I kept holding off, but I'm like, yeah, I'll get back to it, I've been meaning to. I just kept doing that until eventually, you know, just too much happened, too much time passed. And it got harder and harder to come back the longer I put off. Now, I still always intended to come back to this. I do enjoy doing these recordings, and I never did it to famous or make money or anything like that. It was just a little project thing for me to kind of get better at talking, because I'm an introvert. I'm very shy dealing with people. I don't talk very well. So this was kind of a way that I thought, oh well, it's fun to do, and I can share it with some friends and whatnot. And so I did want to get back to doing that, but the recordings were so hard to deal with when it came to the editing. And of course talking. I'm still very awkward when it comes to talking. It's not an easy thing to do. So I'm still planning to work on it. I'm trying to bring it back now, but the editing is always going to be a problem for me. I feel I'm not very good at it. I'm not sure what exactly I'm doing. It's very time consuming, so unless I really dedicate some time, that's always just going to be something I'm not going to like to do. So I may end up doing live streams more often. That way there's not really editing to do. I will have to say though, I am sorry if anyone has an issue with swearing or bad language, maybe some offensive jokes may come out. It's live, I'll hopefully not be thinking too hard about what I'm saying, and so things can happen, like people are easy to offend, so I'm terribly sorry about that. I generally am a nice person, but I have a sick sense of humour, so other than that, yeah, I plan to just kind of come back in, play some games, see what happens. Now, I will give everyone another update about my current situation. As of right now, I am living with my brother, or stepbrother, whatever you want to call it. But my brother has taken me in, and I'm currently under his house. I was in the house for a while, but they needed a room, so here I am under the house. Not the greatest of situations, but it's a roof over my head. Unfortunately, I'm still on Centrelink, have got a job, but not really earning much, and as of this recording, coronavirus is happening, so not the greatest of times for money. But hopefully I'll end up being able to get my own place, and yeah, I should be better off at that point. And yeah, other than that, like this game here that I'm playing at the moment, Warframe, if you haven't seen it, it's been around for a number of years now. Yeah, I'm just kind of doing some random runs in it. Nothing too much, kind of showing off a bit of it here and there, a few maneuvers, basic level. This is kind of me playing, well, it's been a long time since I've really been on my PC to play. Most of them are doing console gaming on the PlayStation and that, so yeah, it's good to get back in, but it does mean I am very rusty. So yeah, this is just me running around, doing a couple of missions. I do intend to play Final Fantasy VII's Remake. I'm really looking forward to getting into that, and I've been holding off on it currently to, yeah, like I plan to actually do a live stream of that. I don't know if I'm going to do the whole game, like I might just save the whole thing for just me, but definitely like looking forward to getting in, seeing how the game turned out, and giving my opinions of it at the first. Probably good if, you know, some of my friends that haven't seen it but I happen to know like the game. Yeah, they might be interested in seeing it. Who knows? Oh, it is surprisingly difficult to talk for a long time. So yeah, oh, what else? I will say that I don't expect a lot of people to be coming around. I expect even less to actually watch this particular video, I will say. If you do happen to come to my channel and actually like any of it for whatever reason, feel free to like leave a comment so I can actually find out about that. It's always good to receive, you know, compliments and to know that what you're doing is actually helpful to anyone or entertaining. As of at the moment, I have 0 friends in this town that I'm living in, and only a few people that I actually talk to online. So yeah, to know that there's people out there that actually do enjoy my sense of humour or just the way I am, yeah, generally will improve my mood at least, and hopefully I can use that sort of energy to improve everyone else's moods. So another side note here that I might as well talk about is the reason I ended up moving to this town. Now, as I mentioned, I'm living in, you know, my brother's good graces at this point. He was very kind enough to take me in. I was living with a friend. Certain situations happened and I wasn't able to stay living with him, and I had always intended to move this way to get closer to the family, and then eventually like get work, improve myself personally, and end up getting my own place. Which turns out, when you're on Centrelink and government benefits, and not a lot of it at that, it's really not an easy task to get your own place. So I got turned down by so many places at this point. I tried for months to get a place of my own, turned down every time. Finally got work, and yeah, I'm not really pulling in enough. So that hasn't helped enough yet. So I'm either going to have to get more work from where I am, or hopefully pick up some more work and hours somewhere else. If I can achieve this, then I should be able to move out to my own place. Now, if I do manage to do this, it'll be great. It has been a long time since I've had any true alone time. I've always lived with somebody. I've never really had a place of my own in a extremely long time, really. I did get to experience it once for only a couple months, and it did not go well. I was far too young at the time to really be paying attention, and I let bills slide and couldn't really afford the place on my own anyway after I had people move out. So that was unfortunate, but now I'm a bit more level-headed. I know what I'm doing, and yeah, getting my own place would just be really nice to get that freedom, because when you live with people, especially as long as I have, where it's pretty much been 10, 15 years or so, not 15 years, I don't know, I can't do the math right now, but I've lived with people for so many years now that, you know, you kind of get used to the idea that wherever you are and whoever you're with, the only way to really keep things calm is to tiptoe around things and to kind of just, you know, bend your will to them, basically. Even if they always say, you know, it's like, oh, you don't have to do that or anything. Like, I found the only way to do it was really to just make sure that you have as little impact on their lives as you can, and then you help them out when they need it. And it's really the only way to keep the peace. And this just kind of turned into something that went way off the scales for me, and so I usually live in my room, only interact with people when I need to, and constantly worried about, you know, what they think. Am I overstepping boundaries? Am I doing this and that? Having the freedom to have my own place and not have to worry about that and just get out of that sort of mindset, I think would be a really good thing. I know my cat would definitely appreciate that. I've had this cat with me now for 7 years, I think it's been. Got her in a relationship and had her ever since. And she really doesn't like living with people. At least not people with other pets or kids. In the experience, she seems to want to mark everything. So getting a place on my own, or at the very least a place with one person that has no pets and no children, would ultimately be beneficial to my cat, which would be nice. But also beneficial to me, as I was saying, so that's a good thing. Other than that, I have moved to this town in order to be closer to family. I have tried to reconnect a bit, but in between living with my friend and living with my brother, I was living with my sister. And she was married. She's not now, or she's separating, or something's going on there. I don't know. I tried to get closer with the family, but with their personal issues, I like to keep a distance so that they are able to kind of come to me with their issues without having to have me jump on them and like, oh, you should do this and, you know, think this way. I try to keep biased and give no real opinion to it. The only way to do that is to really keep out of everyone else's mindsets. But that does also mean that my sister is going through some shit at the moment, and I don't know how to help. So I'm trying to give her some space, and if she needs somewhere to go to just get away from everyone else talking about it, and she's having a rough day herself, and I try to make it so that this is a place that, you know, she's able to come to and just chill. Hasn't taken me up on the offer yet, but I hope that means that she hasn't needed it. I've also got my mother nearby. She's doing well. It now occurs to me that I have not made a phone call to my mother or my father in a while. Moving this way to get closer really seemed more superficial. I feel bad for it. I do. I'll definitely have to give them a call tomorrow, just to say hi again and everything. I'm terrible at keeping contact with family, you know, and friends, really. Again, like, I get very set in my ways, so because I don't interact and talk to people on a daily basis, other than those who are directly in front of me at the time, it's very, very difficult to be like, oh, I should make this call or I should contact them, because I always just assume, well, they must be doing well, and I'm trying to fix this. I really am. Yes, hey, wish me luck on that one. But that's what part of this move was. I became a shut-in before moving in here. I basically didn't leave the house for I think like a year and a half there. The person I was living with, wonderful person, but enabled me to stay, in the house. She did everything, cleaned, went and did shopping and everything, and I appreciated it greatly. But it also came to a realization for me that, because she was so busy trying to be friendly and to keep me happy all the time, that it came down to her doing my role basically, where she was the one that was just like, oh, don't say anything, don't do anything that can upset him, and just do everything that you can for him so that he's always happy. And I felt bad for that once I came to realize it, but it also meant that I'd never had to leave the house. And without having to leave the house, I just didn't. I had no work. I was living on the benefits and everything, and just I didn't leave the house. I didn't have to, so I didn't want to. And I mean, I've never been one for shopping, and like the physical activity outside the house really doesn't interest me. So yeah, not something I really was able to deal with too easily. But I appreciate everything she's done, and like I've still maintained a friendship there at least. But I had to move away so that I could try and get away from that mentality and to fix myself, and as I said, become a better person. So yeah, I'm here. I've got work. It's my first job in 10 years. Not a big deal really. It's a casual, but work is work. It's an improvement. Next on the agenda, get a house. Once I got that, I should be pretty well on the way to improving life as a whole. I'm getting better at talking with people. I interact with people more. Like, work definitely helps with that. Like, I work in the back room, dealing with boxes and such, so I've usually got a team of people all around me, and they all seem to like me. I'm friendly enough, and that they keep talking to me. That helps. I learn to ask questions if I'm ever lost or unsure, which helps gives the confidence there. So it's an improvement. It definitely is. My cat has come up to say hello. So yeah, anyone else that's like going through this sort of thing, like if you happen to find this video somehow and are listening to it, and you feel that like I'm very much the same as you, if I sound like stuff that you're going through, just know that you can kind of push through it. It's not an easy thing to do, especially when you're lost and got no idea what you're doing or if it is working. But stick around for a while, and as I do videos, if you notice a change in me, then maybe it is working. If not, then well, we'll find an answer together. But anyway, I might leave this off here. I hope you've enjoyed listening, getting to know me in a way, and I will have more videos coming along. I cannot give you a roster of how often I plan to upload. It's not focused on becoming anything in particular. I'm just doing it for some fun, so hopefully you enjoy what you see and come by anytime I do upload. But that'll be it from me. I've been Rajin Fox, and stay furry out there.